Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. This one is about the betrayal of Leah Remini by Aaron Smith-Levin. I'll explain how it came to this and how Aaron decided that somehow Leah now was the big bad boogeyman. Many of you are aware of what's now being dubbed the, quote, OSA files. These were documents that I had on a thumb drive when I escaped Scientology back in 2007. And that thumb drive I turned over to the FBI in the first meeting I had with them. I never really worried about what was in those documents concerning me. I was more worried about what was in those documents concerning innocent people who had become enemies of Scientology. And I never wanted any of those people to be hurt by any of the information that was contained in them. So I limited the dissemination of those documents to two people, Mark Headley and Leah Remini. Mark Headley went on to use them in a series of YouTube videos that he did that he titled the OSA files. And he was very careful not to hurt anyone that didn't deserve to be hurt, not to disclose information about anyone that they wouldn't want to have disclosed about them. But Leah had a copy of these documents, and she got tricked by Aaron Smith-Levin into giving him a copy of those files. She knew that she shouldn't have done so because I had spoken to her to make sure that she was aware that I didn't want them to get in Aaron's hands because I felt that he would not treat them as they should be treated. He tricked Leah into believing that he would do something to make the documents searchable for her, which they were already searchable. But when he did so and got her to hand them over to him for that purpose, she made him promise that he would never use them without permission, which he did. He promised that to her. Now, if there's one thing that anybody who knows Leah well knows without doubt, she is incredibly loyal. It takes a lot to break her loyalty to someone once she has given it. When Aaron started using those documents, it was the final straw. She disconnected all contact with him. She blocked his phone number, she blocked his email, she blocked his text. She was done. She had been betrayed by someone who had promised that he would never betray her, and it didn't take long before his need to be the big man on campus and disseminate these documents overtook his promise to her, and soon thereafter, these documents started appearing. I have no idea who ended up with copies of these. A lot of people, apparently. I have no idea what may have been done to use those documents to hurt other people. I hope that that didn't happen. But just given the one thing that I saw subsequent to that release of these confidential files, I worried about how it affected other people. Within those documents is a letter I had written to leave behind after I had escaped from Scientology in London. But I never got a chance to print that letter. I never got a chance to leave it behind. It just resided in the files that were on that thumb drive. Sadly, within that document is a statement I made at the outset that I will never live down the sausage incident. And what that is in reference to is that my ex-wife, Kathy, after being in the hole for months and months and months, wrote up a confession that she and I had used a salami as a sex toy in the first months, probably, of our marriage in 1976. Now, anyone who knows David Miscavige, like I know David Miscavige, realizes that he latches on and has people dig stuff out like that for him to use against people he decides he wants to humiliate. Over the years, I had watched him with Mark Yeager and Guillaume Leserve. Almost every time there was a meeting in which those two were also involved, he would make mention about how Mark Yeager had sucked Guillaume Leserve off and that cum was dribbling down his mouth and that he needed to swallow so that he could talk properly. It was an endless, never-ending harassment and cruel, unkind thing that he did. And it wasn't limited to those two. It was other people too. He humiliated people constantly, and particularly his focus was always somehow on sex. What happened subsequent to Kathy writing this up in her OWs was that I got called down to the Cine conference room by Miscavige out of the hole, and waiting for me there was Miscavige, Larice, his sidekick, and Jenny Linson and Angie Blankenship. And Jenny Linson and Angie Blankenship were holding the largest salami I've ever seen. Must have been 4 feet long. And I had no idea what they were doing. And then Miscavige explained it to me. And I knew at that point that that would go on forever. And that Kathy would end up being humiliated by that because the word would eventually get out and she would suffer. And I didn't want that to happen. She didn't deserve that. It wasn't something that she asked for. She wasn't a big target of Miscavige at the time. I was. I knew it would never stop. Just like it never stopped with Mark and Guillaume and the others. So I never said anything about it. I didn't want to really say anything about it. And that document remained, as I said, in those files. But once Aaron Smith Levin disseminated those files in violation of his promise to Leah, none other than Chrissy Bixler, one of the victims of Danny Masterson, put out a tweet that said, "Okay, you want to know about the assault with a sausage? Ask Mike Rinder to send his letter to Miscavige. It's in the OSA files." How insane is that? How insane is it that someone thinks that they understand because they read a document what really happened? She had no clue. She still doesn't. Maybe she'll watch this and see and feel some regret for having done something like this, but I doubt it at this point. In any event, following on from that, Aaron Smith Levin decided that Leah was now the big bad boogie woman, that she was engaged in a campaign of fair game to destroy him. And the reason for that? She liked a tweet that Aaron didn't like. And so that turned her into the grand master orchestrator of a fair game campaign against Aaron Smith Levin. Now, Leah never said anything about Aaron Smith Levin. Ever. Nothing. She said nothing. She still said nothing to this day. But somehow he equated her liking a tweet with she is the architect behind a fair game campaign. And really what that tells you, Aaron Smith Levin has no clue what a fair game campaign is. He has no idea whatsoever what a fair game campaign is. He has conducted a fair game campaign without doubt, but he has no clue other than his crocodile tears and claiming to be a victim to support any allegation whatsoever that there has been a campaign waged against him. There hasn't. Look back. See, where are all the statements about Aaron Smith Levin? There are none. Not from me, not from Leah, not from Mark and Claire, not from Christy, not from Amy and Matt. None of these people have said anything publicly about Aaron Smith Levin. In his effort to go after Leah, Aaron then did a 2-hour or something video about the, quote, elephant in the room, blaming Leah for this theoretical campaign, fair game campaign against him. And that resulted in a whole new avalanche of hate toward Leah. Now, she didn't deserve the hate that she got as a result of that. She didn't deserve Aaron Smith-Levin's flying monkeys going after her. She didn't deserve any of those things. Leah is loyal to those who are loyal to her, to a fault. To a fault. She didn't deserve any of that. She doesn't deserve any of that. She has done nothing for the last 10 years or more and tried to help people. She has expended an enormous amount of time, effort, and her own money driving the victims of the Hamas case to court, sitting with them in court, and these people turned against her. Leah remains one of my dearest friends and family members of choice, along with the Headleys and Amy and Matt. None of these people deserve your hate, anyone's hate. They have all spent enormous amounts of time doing what they believe is the right thing to do. I cherish these friends. I cherish everybody who has supported me. I cherish everybody who sends me love and support to this day. It is really, really important to me. I am very appreciative of it. And I just want you all to understand that there is evil out there in the world, and that evil needs to be called out. And I will continue to do so until my last days. Thank you again for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that, as I've said before, if this just helps one person not to be hurt by being forewarned, then it's been very well worth the time. Thank you again. Till the next one. Bye.